All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. I am taking another look at two recent runners that have stalled a bit, but again are definitely well worth looking at. Okay, we are going to look at HUBC and LUNR. You can see it right here, the power of the moving averages. Right, it tries to go up to the 20, obviously can't, but it looks like the 8 does its job and actually catches this fall. Right, so we'll talk about this shortly, but before we get into the details, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages, these horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself, and then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms. But even if you don't, just thank you so much for watching these, okay? And then look, I'm not perfect or all knowing, so if you disagree with anything, please throw it in the comments, all right? I definitely am not going to be an argumentative hater at all, right? So happy to hear if your opinion's better than mine, all right? So look, let's get into the details. I can definitely see I'm going to be moving a couple of these lines around, but again, I want to just talk about the last couple of times because I haven't made the video, I think, since this movement, right? And look, I think the big thing to call out is this, right? So here we break the 8 moving average. Here we get a doji, it doesn't count. Here we get some really good confirmation. My expectations right here are actually really high, okay? And look, even if you bought at the close, you actually still made a nice little gap up profit, right? But honestly, when this failed to break the 250 number, I definitely started getting a little worried. And then once it lost the top of this candle, there was really no surprise that it went down the next couple times, right? So yeah, look, again, break, no count because of doji, good confirmation. This needed to go up, and this should have been the thing that said we're going to 10. Clearly, the fact that it didn't, I think, makes sense why we did come back to 2. The one good thing, again, look, the 8 moving average does its job, right? It looked like we were going to lose it. Now it looks like we've taken it over. Again, what do I care about? Honestly, I think I'm going to care about getting over this line, the 293. Again, before we were using the top of this, I obviously care way more about green candles, right? So I'm also going to delete this line. I don't think we need it anymore. Again, we were just using the 50% of the red. I'm way more interested in the green candles, that's for sure, right? So yeah, I think if we can cross 240, there's a good reason to believe we would come up to basically 290, and I'll go ahead and set my alert for 240. An alert is not an immediate buy notification. It's definitely a come check out the charts, but yeah, again, you can make a move from 219 to this 240, right? That does look like it's a little bit more than 10% right there. I wouldn't trust anything up until we get past the biggest candle to the left, right? That's something generally I do say, but and look, if tomorrow doesn't work out, we can definitely see ourselves coming back to 205, roughly that 8 moving average. Or, I mean, honestly, maybe even going back into this like all-time low conversation. But yeah, nothing really matters for me, I think, until this break of 240 on this. I think that's probably the biggest takeaway. Look, obviously, red really wants to turn to green. And, you know, there's a lot of reason to want to believe this thing's coming to 10. Don't look at 10 until we've at least broken the 20 moving average. I'm telling you, you will save yourself this like fake wanting. That was poorly said, but nothing good happens under the 8 and the 20. We're still trying to retake the 8, right? We're still trying to not lose the 8, right? We're trying to show that like this is a real bounce, not a just some little movement that we're eventually going to lose. And then again from there, you got to get over the 20 before you can even think about the 50, 100, and 200, which is where that $10 range is, right? So just keeping things realistic, all right? I'll look at the week. Yeah, there's not much to look at on the weekly. I'm glad we're over 50% candle so far. That's at least a good thing. Maybe that at least says, hey, maybe next week will be a little better. What's this at? 5 something. So that's still well over the. Yeah, maybe. Okay. I don't think there's anything else that we need to add here. That's actually perfect for HUBC. Okay, LUNR is kind of the same story, actually. So look, bad things happen under the 8 and under the 20, but I'm at least glad this 200 moving average is trying to do its job. It does it once right here. Clearly wasn't enough, and you can see we've now come back to the line. It's definitely trying to do it again, but clearly not to the same level it was able to do it the first time, right? Does that mean it just doesn't have the gas to do it? Like this needed to break, if not, down? I don't know. I hate the way that that 20 moving average looks, and it actually looks like yeah, we do death cross. You want the smaller one going above to make it a golden cross, not going below, making it a death cross, right? So that is not a good thing. It looks like the 8's going to death cross the 100, not, depending on how tomorrow goes. But Lunar, look, it's all about this 200 moving average for real. And honestly, I would not touch this thing until we got over this line. All set. Let me see what the 8's at. The 8's at 1288. I'll go ahead and set my alert for 1290. 1290. Again, 1290 will at least put us both over those lines, over this single line that I drew, and then, hey, hopefully makes us believe we'll come to 1540, right? But yeah, under the 8, under the 20, you cannot expect this thing to come back to 50, come back to the 100, whatever number you have in your head, until 1540 is broken. 1540 is the money line. If this breaks, it should actually be a really nice climb up. I think right now the goal is simply just getting back to this, okay? Really, the goal is get back over the 8 and the 20. Let's just take it a step further back, right? But yeah, more than anything, I need to get over that for sure. So that, and then again, that one is actually the money line. This one I'd consider, hey, that's not a bad swing right there. That looks like a decent, maybe even 20%, right? Looks like you're going to make a little bit more than 240, right? So that's not a bad channel, but again, that's a money channel right there, right? With very few resistances in the way. So yeah, it's probably arguable if I want to move it from the bottom of this to the top of this. I think I'm okay though, right? Because that's actually, yeah, I'm okay. Sorry, I was just talking to myself. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I got finished through this a little sooner than I thought. Let me see if I can throw in this guy as well, OCEA. So look, this is another one, right, where the goal is essentially break 1080, break 13 especially, and then fly all. Look, this is the opposite of Mullen, okay? If you break 1311, there are no resistances. There's nothing. As I zoom out, there are no candles anywhere I can like say it's probably going to stop it, right? So if you break 1311, it's all-time highs, it's to the moon, whatever you want to use, right? So the goal is eventually that. Look, ultimately it has to get over $10, all right? This is just a very, very tight cluster of all 5 moving averages, right? So until this breaks 10, what's the actual? It's 990. I'll set my alert for 990. I'm okay with 990. Once it crosses 990, I think that's when you'll start thinking about 13. Until we're over this purple line, the real worry is, are we going to lose these and die? The way it works is you break the top and fly, you lose the bottom and die, right? And look, if we lose this, we can drop to 325 really quick. That's more than a 50% drop. That would be horrible. And where are we right now? We're under the 8 and the 20, right? So there's more to be worried here than there is to be happy, all right? And like, again, I'm not here to be a rah-rah supporter or anything like that. I'm not here to be a scare you, fear-mongering short. I'm here to be real. And again, you're either gonna break out of this cluster by going up, up, up and flying, or you're gonna break out of this by going down, down, down and dying, okay? So I very much hate trading in these. I like to wait for the movement and just ride along if it's going up, or just watch it go down, and then get ready for the curve back up eventually, right? So I have seen some buzz on this. Obviously, it's made some moves, and again, if it breaks 1311, yeah, that's when you'll see like the next day being like $50 for no reason, right? So that's clearly the goal here. But again, just keep things in perspective, all right? That's all I'm saying. And more than anything, nothing's going to happen until we get out of these moving averages, okay? Hey, I appreciate you so much. If you disagree with anything, please let me know. Otherwise, thank you.